Okay, moving on into part 24. As you see, this is going to be the lab work of the crime scene, and the date of this report is September the 13th, 2018. The depth of the grave when the body was removed was approximately 27 inches. The Weld County coroner took possession of the victim at 2 a.m. on Thursday, August the 16th, 2018. All items of evidence collected at the Anadarko site on Wednesday, August the 15th, were transferred to Detective Baumhofer at 0039 hours on Thursday, August the 16th, 2018. CBI remained on scene throughout the night as part of the scene security. Anadarko, Day 2, August the 16th, 2018. Scene processing. Images taken through the use of a drone were taken prior to the arrival of all investigators and support personnel to the scene at approximately 7:30 a.m. At approximately 10 a.m. on Thursday, August the 16th, the process of unloading the contents of the tanks in search of the 2 juvenile female victims and other evidence began. Anadarko employees and their subcontractors began the process of unloading and emptying the tanks. This consisted of draining the tanks through a gravity-fed line at the base of each tank into a collection tray 8 by 3 by 6 inches. The tray was then emptied through a 4-inch hose with an attached 3/8-inch strainer into a vacuum system attached to a tanker truck. Once the tanks were empty, entry to the tanks for body recovery could only be done by specially trained and certified personnel. Entry and recovery was done by the Colorado Patrol Hazardous Materials team through a side hatch located near the bottom side of each tank. Entry into the tank could only be done through the use of self-contained breathing apparatus and full hazardous materials fire protection gear. Atmospheric conditions as well as volatile flashpoints were monitored by Anadarko employees as well as the CSP hazardous material team. Upon the completion of emptying the east tank, a juvenile female victim believed to be Celeste was found buried in crude oil sludge at the bottom of the east tank. The victim was recovered by CSP and was wearing an orange and pink colored shirt, shorts, and a diaper with no shoes or socks. After the recovery of the victim from the east tank, the west tank was drained under the same procedural guidelines. Again, found in the bottom of the tank in the crude oil sludge was the second juvenile female victim believed to be Bella. The victim was wearing a pink, multicolored shirt and shorts with no shoes or socks. The tanks were both searched for additional evidence by CSP. No additional evidence was located. The waste and overflow tank directly to the east of both tanks was visually searched for additional evidence. No evidence was identified nor observed. Search beyond the scene. A line search was conducted by CSM Maloney using law enforcement personnel within the fenced area of the Anadarko scene. Line searches were also conducted outside of the fenced Anadarko leased property in the areas to the north and west of the tanks. During this search, a possible portion of the rake DY7 was located. All items of evidence collected at the Anadarko site on Thursday, August the 16th, were transferred to Detective Baumhofer at 18:17 hours on Thursday, August the 16th, 2018. and that would be 6:17 p.m. CBI cleared the scene at the Anadarko site 1840 hours on August the 16th, 2018, and that would be 6:40 p.m. Scene investigation vehicle on Tuesday, August the 21st, 2018, at 1000 hours, which is 10 a.m., myself and FSK Henson arrived at Oak Street in Frederick, Colorado, to process and execute a search warrant for the two vehicles which possibly had been used to transport the deceased victims in the case. Present at the impound lot was Detective Baumover and Officer S. Walgie from Frederick Police Department. After a brief discussion, it was decided that CBI would photograph, collect, and package all evidence located. CBI would also use adhesive-based rollers and collect any possible hairs, fibers, or other trace evidence from the Ford truck in an attempt to determine any recent possible occupants of the vehicle. The vehicles, a Ford truck and a Lexus 350, were being stored at B&L Repair and Tire, located in Frederick, Colorado. The Lexus SUV was at an indoor impound lot west of the property in Frederick, Colorado. Both properties are under the same ownership and control. A 6-foot chain link fence surrounds the property to the west of the building that faces Oak Street. Access and entry to the lot is controlled by B&L Repair and Tire through the office on the Oak Street side, as well as a locked gate on 3rd Street. The building located on 3rd Street is locked and accessed only with assistance from B&L Repair and Tire. The impound facility is a contracted vehicle impound lot with the Frederick Police Department. Scene observations. Vehicle 1, gray 2015 Ford F-250, Colorado license plate. The vehicle was parked outdoors in the locked and secure impound lot to the west of 245 Oak Street, along with several other vehicles. The truck has been exposed to rain showers earlier in the week. The truck was in good condition with no obvious signs of damage. The doors were locked and the window glass was not broken. The truck was an alternative fuel truck powered with compressed natural gas. The doors to the truck had not been secured with evidence tape, and upon inspection the tape and seals were intact and not broken. In the bed of the truck were affixed toolboxes and fuel tanks, hose implements, as well as miscellaneous hand tools, which included a round point shovel, which is DY8, a square point shovel, which is DY9, and a sickle, which is DY10, were identified and collected. Also within the bed of the truck was a partially full gas can, DY11, and a fire extinguisher. Located in the front passenger compartment of the truck, a roll of black plastic bags were observed and collected from the front passenger side door floorboard. The front driver's seat, DY14, and front passenger seat, DY15, were covered with canvas and seat covers. From the steering wheel, a possible DNA swab was collected, DY12. In the rear seat were 2 large plastic bins that contained miscellaneous work materials, safety equipment, personal items, maps, and paperwork. A pair of black rubber boots, DY16, were located on the floor behind the front passenger seat, and beneath the rear seat were additional miscellaneous tools. Adhesive lifts were collected from the rear seating area and floor, DY17 and 18. Located in the front passenger side door panel was a green disposable cigarette lighter, DY20. And so that is all they collected from Chris's truck. Now, I've heard many, many times that it was said that there was hairs that was collected from Chris's truck. As you see here, it is not mentioned whatsoever. I know that was said by Miss Rusek on Dr. Phil, that there was many hairs collected from Chris's truck. However, it does not mention it here in the discovery, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's just not in the discovery from the report of the things they did take out of his truck. There was DNA lifted off of the steering wheel, and there was they tried to get some trace DNA, but I don't read anything about hairs. Vehicle number 2, white, 2016 Lexus RX 350, Colorado license plate. The vehicle was parked indoors at a large warehouse located at 247 3rd Street, along with several other vehicles. The vehicle was observed to be in good shape with no visible defects or serious damage. The SUV was unlocked. However, the doors, windows, trunk, and hood had been sealed with evidence seals and were observed to be intact and unbroken. The interior of the vehicle was relatively clean and uncluttered. In the rear seat passenger area were 2 car seats affixed and secured in place. Girls' clothing and shoes were noted on the floor, along with small toys and a stuffed animal. In the rear cargo area of the vehicle were numerous zippered, empty duffel-style bags. Also located in the cargo area were several items of men's clothing, which included a shirt, DY22, socks, underwear, jeans, and a belt. A pair of newer brown leather boots, DY21, were also observed and collected. Medical paperwork, as well as paperwork collected from the front center console identifying dates and times of travel from Denver International Airport, DY23, was also collected. All items of evidence collected at the impound facility on Tuesday, August the 21st, were transferred to Detective Baumhofer at 1310 hours on Tuesday, August the 21st, 2018, and that would be 1:10 p.m. CBI cleared the scene at the Frederick impound lot at 13:30 hours on August the 21st, 2018, and that would be 1:30 p.m. Scene documentation. The scenes were photographed by CBI using a digital camera. Drone images were captured at the beginning and end of Day 2 at the Anadarko site. Measurements were taken by CBI through drone software programmetry, as well as through the use of the laser distance meter. And then it just shows the photo numbers, and it says scene photos of 2825 Saratoga Trail, and scene photos Anadarko site, and photos of suspected hair in thief hatch of the east tank of the Anadarko site. It says AM drone photos and PM drone photos, and then vehicle photos. Okay, I do have footage from the police cam that he was wearing when he was repossessing the vehicles. Well, not repossessing, but taking possession of the vehicles so they could be searched, taking them from their homes, and then putting them in the storage facility, as well as taping them up and I will also include that footage on our site. I don't have it there at this second, but maybe by the time that you get this, I will have it up on the site, and if so, I will link it at the end of this video of that whole process. Okay, going right on down. This is just talking about the evidence that they did get from the crime scene. The date of this report is September the 13th, 2018. Okay, at the Anadarko scene, we have DY1 through DY7, and they include black plastic bag from marker 1, black plastic bag from marker 2, gray and white sheet from marker 3, rake head, marker 4, wooden rake handle from marker 5, suspected hair from the east tank thief hatch, and a partial piece of rake hanger from marker 7. Okay, the vehicle evidence, the truck is going to be DY8 all the way to DY20, and those items are going to include a round point shovel from work truck marker 8, a square point shovel from the truck on marker 9, sickle from work truck marker 10, gas can from the work truck marker 11, swabs from the steering wheel of the truck, plastic bags from the floor of the work truck, driver's side front seat cover from work truck marker 14, passenger side front seat cover from work truck marker 15, black rubber boots from rear passenger side floor of the work truck marker 16, trace lift from center console of the truck, trace lift from rear seat of the driver's side work truck, trace lift from the rear seat of the passenger side work truck, cigarette lighter from passenger side front door panel of the truck. Okay, the SUV, DY21 to DY23. Brown boots from Lexus at marker 21. White shirt from Lexus at marker 22. Miscellaneous paperwork from Lexus. Okay, this is going to show a photo of the drone aerial, and as you see the west tank, the east tank, and it's showing you how far the distance is from where they found the gravel rake head, no, the grave and the rake head, I'm sorry, the rake handle, and then the rake handle piece, and then plastic bag number 2, bed sheet, and then over to the left is plastic bag 1. And you will see all of this is actually marked off at how long and how far away each item was from each. Okay, going on down, this is dated by hand 8/17/18. It's a CBI evidence transfer form, and it's a black plastic bag, gray and white sheet, rake head, rake handle, suspected hair from east tank. It was done on 8/16/2018 at 00:39 hours. Detective Baumover signed off on this. And there again, here's another one. This one's 8/17/18 and partial rake handle. And again, Detective Baumover signed out, and he dated it 8/16. Okay, going on down, this is going to be the CBI Forensic Service Division. And it's got the case number, and the location is going to be McKee Medical Center in Loveland, Colorado. Involved suspect, victim Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. Suspect, Chris. And it's item CS2, report and photographs. And it reads, notification. On Thursday, 16th of August, 2018, the underside was called by CBI Crime Scene Unit Manager David Maloney. I was directed to assist in documenting the autopsies of 3 victims involved in a homicide investigation. The autopsy was scheduled for 1000 hours, just 10 a.m., August the 17th, at McKee Medical Center in Loveland, Colorado. I arrived at the medical center at 9:45 a.m. I met with CBI agent Tammy Lee, members of the District Attorney's Office, as well as Frederick Police Department Detective Dave Baumover. The autopsies were conducted by Dr. M. Burson and was assisted by J. Weiner. The autopsy of Shanann Watts was conducted first. I photographed the victim before and after cleaning. Shanann Watts' body was in an advanced stage of decomposition. She was dressed in a t-shirt, bra, and panties. A large protrusion was evident near her vaginal area. The remains of a fetus were visible. The autopsy of Bella Watts was conducted next. I photographed the victim before and after cleaning. Bella Watts' body was in advanced states of decomposition. Bella Watts was dressed in a onesie and underwear. The autopsy of Celeste Watts was conducted next. I photographed the victim before and after cleaning. Celeste Watts' body was dressed in a diaper, underwear, and a t-shirt. Celeste Watts' body was in an advanced state of decomposition. As each autopsy was conducted, the victim's clothing were placed on a clean sheet. I photographed the clothing. It was then packaged by J. Weiner and transferred to the custody of Detective Baumover. All of the autopsies were concluded at 1900 hours, and that would be 7 p.m. Okay, the date of this report is September the 21st, 2018. The descriptions are a photo identifier, Shanann Watts autopsy, Bella Watts autopsy, and Celeste Watts autopsy. Weld County Office of the District Attorney, Officer Report for Incident. Received by Dan Boyle. Involvements, September the 12th, 2018. Description, Kelly Carmen, witness. Name involvements, Kelly Carmen, Greenlee, Colorado. Employer, Weld County Sheriff's Office. Officer Report for Incident, Weld County DA Original Narrative. List miscellaneous documents included with this original report. Name involvements, Kelly Carmen. Narrative. This supplement is to document the receipt of Christopher Watts' mail. On August the 22nd, 2018, I received from Deputy Kelly Carmen 17 copies of letters that had been mailed to Watts since his confinement. As of September the 7th, 2018, I received from Deputy Kelly Carmen 10, 18 through 28 additional copies of letters Watts has received. The letters consisted of personal letters from people asking to be pen pals, some media requests, and a couple of hate mails. Nothing of evidentiary value can be drawn from the correspondence. While intermittently monitoring Secret Technologies, the recorded inmate calling system, the defendant has made 10 calls as of September the 19th, 2018. Call 1 was to enroll in the Securus account system. Calls 2 through 4 were to the public defender, which are confidential and not accessible. Call 5 was to his father's number, but no connection was made. Calls 6 through 10 were to the public defender, which are confidential and not accessible. End of report.